Okay everybody, welcome back. Another mobile detailing video on how to repair paint. So we're actually going to go through real quick step-by-step process of what I'm going to do, what I'm going to use to correct it. And real quick, let me show you what we're looking at. It's a brand new boat. Guy buys it and the dealer decided to ratchet strap it down, thinking that that was a smart idea, and this is what you end up with. And so when the customer went to take the boat off and put it out in the lake, he didn't know that the actual rollers that are right here to guide it up and hold on to it were actually strapped on so hard that it created these little notches right here. Plus it was I guess the bearing had locked, and you wouldn't think to look at a brand new boat bearing on a trailer that it would be seized, but apparently it did. So we're going to wet sand that down. We're going to use a leveling compound, and then we're going to follow up with a wax that's meant for this type of paint. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully it'll get it back to being a little bit better than what it is. Customer doesn't want to do the full-blown treatment, but he wants to make it look a lot better than what it is right now, and we plan on doing it for him. Okay everybody, so we're going to start off by basically spraying it down just to try to expose everything, keep all the paint clean. I've already used a waterless car wash system, but I want to lubricate the paint because we're about to go through with a wet sanding process and getting everything ready to go to try to bring out the scratches out of the paint and remove everything as best we can. So anyway, we're going to speed this process up probably on the camera just so that it doesn't take forever, but I'll slow down and show you exactly the steps that I plan on doing as I'm going. But anyway, I hope you love watching boats get fixed, because that's what we're planning on doing. Time to wet sand. When sanding, I always like my sandpaper to actually soak in water for a while. Not extremely hot, nowhere near cold. A nice little bit hotter than lukewarm, something you'd like to take a bath in. The reason is, I have no reasoning for it actually, it's just what I do. So anyway, I'll get started right now. I'm going to start out with a 2000 grit sandpaper. I can always get lighter and I can always get heavier, but with this type of paint, I always find that it's better to start out with around 2000 and see how it works. Some of this paint is really hard, and some of it is hard but not as hard. So anyway, here we go. Let's see what we can do. I always do cross hatching, so start in one direction and then do the opposite. I do not wet sand in the same direction as the actual accident or the scratch or whatever you want to call it. Some guys are very particular about using a flat boarded surface. I just find that if you're light enough and you let your hands do the work, it'll actually keep it pretty level. If you're smooth and you're give it a wipe and see what it looks like. Okay everybody, so I want to see how it's reacting. I can already see that we've actually scoured it pretty good, brought it down, and the scratches are starting to go away, but I want to see what an actual correction will do from this point on. I was looking at some of my options, and out of all the polishers I have and backing plates and such, I think a smaller polisher in this case will be better, because we have lots of lips and lots of contours, and it's such a tight place. I want to make sure that I can keep the actual polisher in control. And I was sent some of this stuff. It's by Manzerna USA, and we're going to actually test it out today, give it a review. So this stuff is the HCC 400, and it's a actual leveling compound. And from there, it's one of their heavier compounds, and from there we're actually going to switch over to the good lord, the super finish and then the power lock. So sent me some of these samples, and we're going to actually see how they work. So first, whenever you have a brand new pad, just like any other video tells you or any other detailer will tell you, load up your pad, center it as best you can, and make sure you give it a couple of good sprays. Some people say that I spray too much. No, that's fine. I do what I do because it works. Anyway, just like anything else, we're going to actually prime the pad. So I've shaken this up really well, and small pad doesn't require a whole bunch of wax or compound or whatever you want to call it, but always just sit there and kind of work it into the pad at first, because it cuts down on slinging and it helps the pad actually get ready to go and get ready to put in work. But once you get it primed up, make sure it's on its lowest setting, which my son was playing with this so it wasn't, and just kind of pat it everywhere. As you can see, it's really wet because I just primed the crap out of it with a lot of lubrication, the synthetic lubricant rather, and might get a little slinging, whatever. Detailer is supposed to get dirty. So we're just going to spread it around, and seeing how we actually did use the wet sand technique, we want to make sure that whatever we're doing, we're blending it and pushing it around. So we're not going to do just that one area. We're actually going to try to blend it around the whole area that we were at and see what we can get to. So.
All right.
Okay, so I should give you an up close look at it, and you can see exactly how it's reacted. So again, we'll go to this side, which is the original side. This is what it looked like on both sides. That's what it looked like originally, all the way up. And now, with some wet sanding and a good correction polish, it's actually done quite well. There is a mark right here that I'm going to continue to work on and see if we can actually get some of this out. You got to be careful though. You got to know when to actually call it quits. You can see how damaged that is. Sometimes you actually have to get it and then fill it back in and then reseal it. So you got to know when enough's enough. And as a detailer and you own your own business, sometimes that can be a difference between having a great day or repainting a customer's boat. So as you can see, it actually turned out really well. This side right here where all the scratching and everything is the exact same on this side. So we took it all down, started out with a 1500 grit sandpaper, 2500, and, or excuse me, 2000, then 25, then 3000, just to get rid of all those sanding marks. And then a couple passes with the paint correction from the Menzerna, and so far, great product, love it. It really cuts in well without having too many problems. And one thing I did notice is that it's very, very thick. Maybe it's just the package I got, but usually some of this stuff, whenever it spreads pretty well, pretty liquid. But once I got rid of all the actual synthetic lubricant that I put on the pad after priming it, which was way too much obviously, but anyway, once I got rid of all that, we noticed that it was just really, really thick whenever putting it on, so I had to apply a lot. So anyway, we found a good consistency to work with, and I think it came out good. So customer's really happy with it. We're gonna finish up, and yeah, look at the rest later on. Okay, so we're all done with the correction. Now we're gonna go through with an actual wax and seal this bad boy up with some wax and some sealant. And I already showed some pictures to the customer. He's actually extremely happy. Over here, I found a lot of scratches over here. I don't know what had happened. Maybe he hit the dock or something. But anyway, found those. Got rid of those as well for the customer. He's really happy. He didn't even know about them. So right on. Anyway, a lot of hiccups this morning. Okay, everybody. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it's helped. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns or any thoughts, you can email me or just send me a message on YouTube. And again, this is Lance with Mobile Detailing. Thanks for watching.